At least 4 people were dead and 23 others were missing on Sunday, a day after a flash flood and landslide struck the city of Kangding in a mountainous part of Sichuan Province in southwestern China. It was the latest in a recent series of deadly events in China involving extreme weather. State media reported early Sunday morning that at least 939 people had been relocated from the area because of the flooding. The majority of people in the region are Tibetans. Among the missing were some people who had been on an expressway bridge near the city between 2 mountain tunnels. The bridge collapsed amid heavy rain early Saturday and 3 vehicles and 5 people were still unaccounted for as of Sunday. A torrent of mud and water rushed into the area with force from a high elevation, according to state media. A photograph released by the official Xinhua news agency showed mud and broken pieces of roadway cascading down a steep slope where a vehicle lay on its side. The Ministry of Emergency Management sent officials to the area to oversee a rescue effort that involved more than 1,400 people, 215 vehicles, search and rescue dogs, and a helicopter. Extreme weather has hit several parts of the country in recent weeks, taking a toll on lives and property. At least 30 people were killed late last month when heavy rain from Typhoon Gami lashed Sichuan Province in southern China, causing widespread flooding. According to state media, 35 people remain missing as of Thursday. Close to 100,000 people had to evacuate. By the weekend, power, transportation, and communication had largely been restored to 8 villages that had been cut off by flash floods and landslides. About 2 weeks ago, 38 people died when part of a highway bridge collapsed during a period of heavy rain in western China. As of Friday, 24 people remained missing, according to the official Xinhua news agency. In June, at least 47 people died as a result of flooding and landslides in southern China's Guangdong province. More than 100,000 people were evacuated after the Sea of Maishiao experienced once-in-a-century rainfall, according to state media. Adding to the suffering, July was the hottest month recorded in China since the country began collecting data in 1961. Higher than average temperatures were reported in every province in China. The Chinese government has allocated more than $1.6 billion in disaster relief funds to local governments so far this year. The landslide on Saturday severed 2 of the area's main transportation routes during the summer tourist season. Feng Fadwei, a local official, said that a working group had been set up to serve tourists and truck drivers in the area who were stranded by the road closings. Halfway through the peak flood season, China has already experienced the highest number of significant floods since record-keeping began in 1998, and the hottest July since 1961, authorities said on Friday. This year so far has recorded 25 numbered events, which the Chinese Ministry of Water Resources define as having water levels that prompt an official warning or are measured at a magnitude of a once in 2 to 5 years event. At a press conference this week, authorities said 3,683 river flood warnings and 81 mountain flood disaster warnings had been issued, state media reported. Almost 5,000 reservoirs have been put into operation, diverting 99 milliliters of flood water to prevent the relocation of more than 6.5 million people. China has been hit by wild weather this summer, including heat waves, drought, an early start to the annual flood season, and the remnants of Typhoon Gami, which brought floods and destruction to the Philippines and Taiwan before reaching China's east coast. Dozens of people have been killed and hundreds of thousands have been forced to evacuate after floods and landslides across several provinces. Thousands of homes have been damaged and crops and livestock wiped out. On Thursday, state media said Gami had killed at least 30 people in Hunan, with about 35 others still missing. The National Meteorological Administration said the climate had deviated from the norm in China this year, driving the natural disasters. The national rainfall average was 13.3% higher than average, with 30 weather stations recording record highs. 4 major rivers received above average rain. The Huaya River and the Liao River basins received double the average. China is the world's largest producer of carbon emissions, which are driving the climate crisis. It has pledged to peak emissions by 2030 and bring them to a net zero by 2060, with ambitious state-backed renewables projects. Research released last month showed that China is building almost twice as much wind and solar energy capacity than every other country combined.